Hey guys, what is up? It is Smasher Gaming here. Welcome back to yet another Brawl Stars video. In this video, I am going to be ranking all 22 brawlers from worst to best. Now, these are my personal opinions, and I would love for you guys to list all of your brawlers ranked from worst to best down below in the comment section, as I have provided you some Brawl Stars gameplay in the background. Now, coming in at number 22, you probably saw this coming. It is Bo. Bo is average in many game modes. He can be pretty decent in gem grab, heist, bounty, brawl ball. He's pretty decent in showdown. The reason why he's good in bounty is because of Snake Prairie, if you do have his star power, and he is really good with his mines, and he can just deal a ton of damage if he lands all his shots, which is another decent thing about Bo. Now, coming in at number 21 is Mortis. Mortis is basically just a one-trick pony. The only mode that he is good in is Brawl Ball, because there's this trick called passing the ball to yourself. You basically just pass the ball, then you use Mortis's attack to dash to the ball, and you can just dribble the ball like that. Now, he's pretty decent in other game modes. He's okay in gem grab. He's okay in, he's not really in bounty, and he's okay in showdown. And I would personally recommend you guys only use him in Brawl Ball, because that is his specialty. Now, coming in at number 20, he did get a recent buff in the previous balance update before the global launch, and that is Colt. Now, the reason why I put Colt down here, is that granted, he can do a lot of damage, but his shots are just super hard to hit. His shots are extremely hard to hit, and if you are able to hit those shots, he can deal a massive amount of damage, and his super can break walls. He's good in heist. He's really good in showdown. You don't see him that often in gem grab, and he's also pretty decent in bounty if you just know how to use him. Now, coming in at number 19 is Piper. Now, Piper is probably the most lethal brawler in the game, because if she hits you from max range, it can almost one-shot people like Penny, Brock, Spike, etc. It can almost one-shot them, but if you use her in extremely close range, it barely does any damage. Now, the best mode that I would recommend to use Piper in is bounty. She is very good in bounty, especially if she is in a wide open environment like Stone Fort, Snake Prairie she's okay in, and a lot of those other maps. Now, coming in at number 18, we have Dynamite. And Dynamite is extremely good in heist. He's extremely good in heist. He's not the best in gem grab and showdown. He's mostly seen in heist because of his capability of being a thrower brawler like Barley, but we'll talk about Barley later. So, his super basically lays out a giant bomb, and it deals a massive amount of damage. And it's okay to basically know how much damage you're going to be dealing, and the fact that he's just really good in heist means that that's probably the mode that you could use Dynamite the most in. Now, coming in at number 17, I had to rank this brawler low. We have Brock. Now, I know I could have ranked him higher, but his shots are so hard to hit. But if you do hit his shots, he does deal a good amount of damage, and his super is just insane. Even though that he's low rank, his super's insane. He does a lot of damage, but the negatives is that he's hard to hit, and he reloads a bit slower than the other brawlers. But the best mode that I would recommend you use him in is Gem Grab and Bounty. Gem Grab and Bounty, you can also use him in Heist because of his super, and that's the main reason why Brock is at number 17. Now, coming in at number 16, we have the first legendary brawler on the list, and that is Crow. Now, I could have ranked him higher than any other brawler, but Crow, in my opinion, he is one of the most annoying brawlers to deal with in the game because of his poison. If he hits you with his poison, your health will just tick and tick and tick and tick. Sorry for the clock back there. But it will just tick and tick. And he's just so annoying to deal with. He's very good in Bounty, and he's also pretty decent in Gem Grab. He's okay in Showdown, and we don't see him a lot in Brawl Ball. Now, coming in at number 15 is the very first brawler you get in the game, and that is Shelly. Shelly is pretty decent in all the game modes. She's good in Gem Grab, she's really good in Showdown, she's good in Heist, she's not the best in Bounty, but she's okay in it, and she's really decent in Brawl Ball. Now, here's the thing, if you hit your shot at very close range, it will almost one-shot you. And I'm honestly not gonna lie, the Star Shelly skin is no longer available because you can only access that skin if you had the game before 2019. So that's the reason why Shelly is at number 15. Now, coming in at number 14, we have one of the highest health brawlers in the game, and that is Primo. Primo is extremely good because he can tank a lot of shots, he can land a lot of punches, and he just does massive amounts of damage. I think the best mode to use him in is probably Heist and Bounty. Gem Grab, he's really good in as well, but he's not the best, and he's okay in Showdown and Brawl Ball. But Heist and Bounty are probably the best modes to use Primo in. Now, coming in at number 13, we have one of the highest DPS brawlers in the game, and that is Bull. Now, unlike Shelly, Bull has almost double the health of Shelly, and if you land your shots at the closest range possible, it will deal a ton of damage. He will 3-shot power boxes when you play Showdown at the closest range possible, and he is just insane. The best mode to use him in is Showdown, especially on Feast or Famine. Because the middle, you could just absolutely dominate with Bull. You could just dominate with him. Now, coming in at number 12 is Frank. Now, Frank, he's a good brawler. His super is just insanely ridiculous. He stuns you for a couple seconds where you can't move. You can't do anything. And it's just annoying. But there is one way that you can block his super. If you perform Shelly's super, it will actually block his super. And it's really useful, but especially if you play one of the game modes with one of the modifiers like Energy Drink, he will almost one-shot you because he's just insane. Now, coming in at number 11, I could have ranked this brawler higher, but we have Jessie. Now, she did receive a bit of a buff in the last balance update before global launch, and it was her reload speed. That is what makes her in the top 15, because her chain damage is honestly super annoying to deal with. Her chain damage is a nightmare, but what makes her come in at this spot is her turret. Her turret is also a bit annoying to deal with. If you don't take care of that turret, you will pretty much die. That's the thing. If you just don't take care of that turret, it's just an absolute nightmare to deal with. Now, coming in at number 10 is Poco. Now, you probably saw this coming, as Poco being one of the best healers in the game. With his area of heal, it's just insanely good. Like, you could clutch up a match with your teammates by just having your super ready and just healing them. But there is another healer brawler that's going to come up in a bit, and Poco, in my opinion, is extremely good in Gem Grab. He's extremely good in Gem Grab. He's okay in Showdown if you're playing Duo Showdown. He's okay in Heists. He's okay in Brawl Ball. But the best mode that I would recommend you use him in is Gem Grab. Gem Grab is probably the best mode to use Poco at. Now, coming in at number 9 is Tara. Tara is extremely good because of her super, how it pulls in enemies, and it just stuns you for a short while and you can't do anything, just like Frank. The best mode to probably use her in is Brawl Ball and Bounty. Brawl Ball and Bounty are probably the best modes to use Tara in, and what makes her unique is that her shots can actually pierce through enemies. If you throw her cards, instead of piercing through one enemy, it can pierce through multiple enemies, and that's extremely good. Now, coming in at number 8, we have the other healer brawler, and that is Pam. Pam is extremely good. Pam is probably the best gem carrier in Gem Grab. She's also pretty good in Heist. She's pretty good in Bounty. She's okay in Showdown. But the best mode to use her in is Gem Grab, because she is, in my opinion, one of the best gem carriers in Brawl Stars. And that's what makes her dominant. Now, coming in at number 7, this brawler got a huge rework before the global release, and that is Daryl. Now, Daryl is really unique because this is the only brawler that supercharges over time. Usually, you have to land your shots in order to charge your super, but it takes 20 seconds to charge up your super if you don't hit a brawler. Now, modes that he's good in are Gem Grab and Showdown. Gem Grab and Showdown, he's okay in Bounty, he's pretty decent in Heist, and he's pretty decent in Brawl Ball, but Gem Grab and Bounty are probably the best modes to use Daryl in. Now, coming in at number 6, we have Ricochet. Now, I could have ranked him higher, but these brawlers are just extremely good. And Ricochet is just basically a more dominant version of Colt. There is similar differences. Colt's bullets does not ricochet, but unlike Ricochet, as you can tell by his name, his bullet can ricochet past walls. And this is the highest DPS brawler in the game. The highest DPS brawler in the game. If you know how to land your shots. If you can land your shots with Rico, you'll absolutely annihilate someone. Especially his super. Coming in at number 5 is Nita. Nita is also extremely good because of her bear summon. She can use it if she's really low on health and if she needs to escape. The best mode I recommend you put her in is Gem Grab and Bounty. Gem Grab and Bounty are probably the best modes to use Nita in. Now, coming in at number 4, we have the other thrower brawler, and that is Barley. The reason why Barley is ranked so high, in my opinion, he is the most annoying brawler in the game, in my opinion, because he can just annoy the crap out of you. The best mode that he's good in is Heist, because of his throwing ability. He can throw his fireballs or molotovs over walls, which is extremely annoying to deal with, and not a lot of brawlers can shoot over walls. The only other brawler that can shoot over walls is Dynamite. And the better thing about Barley is that when he lands his attacks, it stays there for like 3 seconds, and it deals damage over time if you sit in there and if you don't get out of there, which is extremely amazing. Coming in at number 3 is Penny. Now, you probably saw this coming. The reason why I put Penny up on the list. Penny is just so good. She is so good. She is good in every single game mode possible. She's good in every single game mode. But the best is Bounty and Showdown. The reason why I ranked Penny so high not only can she deal a massive amount of damage, it's her mortar. That's the reason why she's up here. Her mortar is so annoying to deal with. It is a nightmare because of how long the mortar range is and how much damage it can deal. And it's just so annoying. Now, coming in at the number 2 spot, we have Spike. Spike is just, oh, so good. Spike is just amazing. He is my favorite brawler in the game so far. He's just absolutely amazing. The best modes that I'll recommend you use him in is Bounty and Gem Grab. Bounty and Gem Grab are probably the best modes to use him in. He's pretty good in Heist, and he's pretty okay in Showdown, and he's decent in Brawl Ball, but Bounty and Gem Grab are probably the best modes to use him in. The reason why he's so good is because of his main attack. Not only does it throw out a cactus, but the cactus does area of effect. It spreads into 6 little pricks of thorns, and it deals even more damage. If you land the full shot with the cactus and the thorn, it deals over 1,000 damage, and that is insane. Now, coming in at number 1 is Leon. Even though that Leon got a bit of a nerf in the last balance update, he's still extremely overpowered. He is the most overpowered brawler in the game. The reason why is because at close range, he will absolutely destroy you at close range. She's just like Piper, or not she, he's just like Piper, but basically the opposite. The closer you are to an enemy, the more damage you do, but the farther you are, the less damage you do. And what's really good about him is his invis. His invis is just so good to juke people and to not expect where he is, even though that his invisibility got a bit of a nerf. Now that players in a 4-tile radius can see where he is. And the best modes to use him in, he's basically pretty much good in every mode. The least good he is in, I would have to say, is Brawl Ball, but I think the best modes to use him in is Bounty and Showdown. He is extremely good in Showdown because he can just rip through boxes extremely fast, and he can just deal a massive amount of damage. But anyways, guys, for now, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. If you guys enjoyed this Brawl Stars video, hit the like button down below, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!